Alright, it's looking a hot mess, but I'm going to be moving stuff around so you guys can see exactly what I was able to pick up. This shopping trip, I was able to pick up everything I had on the list for the next 2 weeks, as well as I was able to pick up additional items that I was seeing in the store. I really feel like I've gone over my budget. This is the first time, but it was some items that was in the back of my mind that I know I needed to pick up. So let's go ahead and show you what I've got. So I was able to go ahead and get my spinach and my broccoli, and I was able to get the spaghetti squash. Now, what I learned with the spaghetti squash is that you're paying for the seeds. So you ask the store that you're at to cut it in half and remove the seeds so you can pay for the actual spaghetti squash themselves. So I went to Publix and they did that for me. I decided to pick up this package of sweet potatoes, and the reason I did that is because the size of them, the ones in the store, are larger. For one of the meals that I do, I need smaller ones, so I decided to go ahead and pick that up. We have the red potatoes. I did the same thing with the red potatoes. I just went ahead and picked them up in smaller quantity versus, smaller ones, but a larger quantity. So when I make the vegetable, we have the onions here. That's all over the cabinet. I was able to go ahead and pick up the petite avocados, the red peppers. I went ahead and just picked up in the package, the carrots. I picked up the sliced green onions so I don't have to do it myself. I definitely was trying to find the carrots, celery, and the green onions in the pre-sliced or cut up, but I couldn't find it in neither of the stores I was in, so I went ahead and bought this whole. And what I'll do when I'm done is break this down. We're able to get the red and purple cabbage and the cucumbers that I'm going to break down. So I hope this gave me enough space. I may have to move it over a little bit. Slide that over there. Okay, so I was able to go ahead and pick up these crispy chicken strips. I don't know if I talked to you before. These ones I pick up at Aldi. My son likes them, and I do too. Like I said, not fatty, not gummy, on point. Picked up some chicken thighs, chicken breasts, and the beef. I was able to pick up the corned beef. I had to go to multiple stores and finally, that's why I ended up at Publix and they had the corned beef. The other stores were sending their corned beef back. Not because it's bad. Like when it's not selling, my store usually moves that items. So we have the cream of chicken for the meals. We have the baked beans. I had olives on the list. I'm not 100% sure why. And what I decided to do is with the seasonings, I decided to just buy the smaller quantity because I didn't feel like going to BJ's. I picked this up. I've never used this one before. I usually make my own, but I wanted to see how this fares with one of the meals that I use a Creole seasoning for. I went ahead and picked up the reduced sodium soy sauce. The dark one, they usually don't have it at Aldi, so I usually pick this up when I go to Harris Teeter, but I didn't go to Harris Teeter today. Today's trip was Aldi, Publix, and Food Lion twice. We have the Thousand Island dressing. Instead of pizza sauce, I just prefer the marinara pasta sauce, so that's what I picked up. We have the chunky salsa that I like. I went ahead and did pick up the Deli Sliced Mild banana pepper rings, because I do use them on my salad. So if I use it for the meal this week or the next week, I believe, I want to make sure I have some for when I make my salad. I needed a new avocado spray. This is one that I pick up at Aldi's. And I went ahead and bought the pure avocado oil. So down the line, I'll be able to have that as well as an option. My son, who has eczema, has always had issues with milk. And when he was younger, it was like, do the soy milk. So he had the soy formula. Soy wasn't doing well. We actually went to regular whole milk. That wasn't doing well. So for a while, we just didn't even do milk in general. And then we introduced soy back in with the different chocolate flavors and stuff. And as he became older, it still was having an issue. I found that this milk works best for him. He is a cereal eater. He can eat that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But I found that this milk has been the best. This is whole milk, but it naturally contains the A2 protein and it's easier for digestion. So, because this has come from cows who's not treated from growth hormone, I think that's what the issue is. It's the hormones that is injected in the cows that was causing him to have the flare up with his eczema. But this has been perfect for him. And anyone who always says they child have issues with eczema and they love milk, to this fact, I always recommend this one. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, a scientist, or nothing, but this has worked for us. So I did pick up that. I picked up a small heavy cream. I was going to pick up just the red wine, like a sherry, but they didn't have it in the store. So I just picked up this red wine vinegar because I didn't have one and I needed it, I believe, for something this week. Additionally, I picked up for the cabinet was this gluten-free thin spaghetti. It has white pasta with 4 grains in it. It's made with white rice, brown rice, corn, and quinoa. And I did check the back. It does have mono and diglycerides in it. Additionally, I believe those are preservatives. I am going to double check that. But it's produced in a dedicated gluten-free facility. We're not gluten-free. I just like to try a different type of things to see if that helps on health-wise as well as taste-wise for certain things. So I did pick this up because I had seen this in the store when I was shopping for my side gigs. I said, let me try this out. And Miraculous do have one. Now, it wasn't in the store initially when I went, but when I went back, it was in there. So that's what I picked up. What wasn't on the list but was added was I did pick up my son. He loves some Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And they had a buy one, get one. So I went ahead and grabbed that. I did pick up the ancho chili pepper. I believe it has said powder, but I think I meant to, it's all the same. It's still a powder. So we're good to go with that. So refrigerator wise, I had to pick up some Kobe chopped cheese. I did pick up some Swiss cheese. Y'all, funny thing about it is that I know something about the Swiss cheese I needed to do. I couldn't read my handwriting. But I ended up picking that up. A new cream cheese, the one I'm using now is, I say it's contaminated because I usually do cream cheese and jelly on my bagels, and that's what I did. And you know, I said I was going to pick up bagels, but I definitely forgot to pick up those bagels. So I definitely may go pick that up. The sliced mozzarella cheese, this is what I usually use when I make my pizza. And then I always pick up the shredded mozzarella because my son prefers that. I prefer the red pepper hummus, but they didn't have any, so I just went ahead with the roasted garlic. I picked up some sour cream because we did need some. I decided to pick up the guacamole classic singles to make it easier and not for it to spoil. In portion size, because I can eat a whole container of guacamole. I can eat a whole container of this too, y'all. But I'm going to try my best. I picked up the hard salami or salami, whoever you prefer to pronounce it. And then I picked up this dry cured ham prosciutto. This is for the Italian wraps that I'll be doing. I had to pick up 2 of those because they come in only 4 ounces and I needed a half a pound. We needed some ham, so I picked that up for those sandwiches as well. We have the provolone cheese here. For the strombolis, I have that thin crust. And for the wraps, I have those crescent rolls that was requested. As always, I always pick up this gourmet thick sliced hickory smoked bacon. I prefer this thickness of the bacon. It lasts longer in my house. I actually cut this in half. And this can last us. And then I did pick up, it was two of the hard because it's 2 meals that I'll be using this for. So I picked up 2 of those. As always, I pick up the spinach herb wraps. They did have some other ones in there that was gluten-free that I wanted to try, but they were all broken up. So I'll try next time. I always pick up the organic cage-free eggs. I have a small allergy to eggs. which means that it's not severe, but I can't eat them over and over and over. So if I have them Monday, I shouldn't have them Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so on and so forth. But it is times that I do eat them in a row, especially when I'm doing my detox. And this is like one of the cook items that we can actually use on the detox that I do. And I prefer these because of digestion. I actually digest these a lot better. There's other brands and other cage-free or organic ones in the stores, but this one I have found has been better with how I digest them, and I'm good with them. I love them. I did go ahead and pick up some Clubhouse crackers. It wasn't on the list. I did because I had 8. I was down to, they come 3 in a pack, so I was down to 2, and then I used a half of one, and then my son said, can I have the rest of them? So I'm down to 1, so I went ahead and picked that up to cover that. I ended up having to pick up the Nature's Promise Organic. I like these, but I prefer the ones at Aldi's, but they didn't have any, and so these are the ones that I usually pick up. The reason why I pick up 2 is, look at this. This is half the bag is air, y'all. So I have been picking this up. My son don't like it, but it makes me I laugh at them. Is that they have the 0 net carbs wheat bread. It's vegan, low fat. My son like, what's these little breads that you keep bringing? But oh well, he'll get over it. So and then I have my caramel rice snacks and my banana chips. And so that has been my grocery haul for the 2 weeks. So now what I usually do is items like this, they go into containers. I break down my meats into freezer bags and put them in the freezer, except for the ground beef. It's small. I don't have to do that. And then my vegetables, I definitely break those down. So that's where we at, y'all. All right. Let's see how the next week fares. So I just wanted to show you what I usually do when I have vegetables. I do freeze my vegetables. So I cut and freeze them. And this is how I package them. Here's how they look. This is the potatoes, the sweet and the red. The red bell pepper. Here's the broccoli. I do cut up the carrots. Now I don't freeze these. I just cut them up. And then I put them in my crisp drawer. This is the red cabbage. And this is the green cabbage. Now sometimes I freeze, like I might freeze these smaller containers. These larger containers I usually do not freeze. It's depending on when I'm going to actually use it. I didn't cut up my cucumbers at this time. I just usually wash them, leave them whole, put them in a bag. The spinach I wash and put in a bag as well. And then I go from there. So this is how usually I set it up. This is a lengthy process for me, but it's necessary, especially because I don't have that much room in my freezer, in my refrigerator. So it's best that I break things down as much as I can. So this is how it looks. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how I break down everything that I take out of packages, especially because I have a small refrigerator. My freezer and fridge area is just, it's not enough space, so I have to break it down as much. So this is usually how I break down the meat. This is the chicken breast and the thighs. I break those down. Here is the cabbage, and I found these green containers in Ross. It is like as seen on TV situation. It's the lady, I can't remember her name. I threw away the package. If I remember, I'll link it below. But yeah, so basically this is what this is at this time. And what I usually do is I do place these in the freezer. They freeze well, don't have an issue. So when it's time to cook, I'm able to, like, it's easy. I already cut up, I already washed, good to go. This is what I usually do with the spinach. I throw it in a piece of towel to grab some moisture, and I switch this out every day that I'm not using the spinach. This is the red bell pepper is broken up. Here go the broccoli, the potatoes that I'll be needing for the vegetable sheet pan. And this is how I break up the celery. I do put water in it. and I put that in the fridge. The cereal for my son I put in this container, and then the chips I have in this container. My Race snacks I throw in that container, and then here's my banana chips. And I do this as space savers, and it helps with organization and keeping things where it needs to be. So let me go ahead and put this stuff away. So we definitely had some hit and misses. Let's talk about the hits. We had barbecue pork sandwiches. I just simply put the meat, the sauces, and the spices in the slow cooker for 8 hours, and I paired that with a slaw and baked beans. I did my roasted vegetables, which simply is just placing the vegetables with the seasonings in the oven, and then I paired that with quinoa and a dollop of sour cream. We had fish tacos I made with cod. I made an avocado crema sauce, and we just paired that with rice, beans, and pico de gallo. I found a Pinterest recipe for pepperoni stromboli. We made that. The only thing I would do different is more sauce. I did make the beef and rice skillet that was featured on the long run with Joel and Christy. Instead, I used quinoa. It was still a hit. Another Pinterest recipe was a spicy Italian ring. If you have a party, people would definitely like this. We loved it. I paired it with chips. I have an easy weeknight chicken teriyaki bowl that I make, and we were able to do that as well, and that was good. I budgeted $160.70 for my groceries. It was $160 and $70 was actually left over. I actually spent $183.89 though. I know. I went over budget. I went over budget because I let stress get the best of me, and I started picking up snacks for myself, and that caused the budget to go over. So I did pull the overage from my personal category because of that. I do thank you for watching, and I hope I was able to give you some ideas for your upcoming meal planning. For me, meal planning helps me stay within budget. I know that I need to work on how to manage my stress, so in the future, I won't spend in categories that I shouldn't spend in. If you are new to my channel and you will love to be a part of my village, because we would love for you to join, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Everybody hit that thumbs up. And if you can share this with your family, friends, and your coworkers. Peace out.